Hello, Grace Community Church. Pastor Steve here, continuing our journey cover to cover on May 4. And today we're looking at 1 Chronicles chapter 26, 27, and 28. Now, going through this passage, which I'm assuming you've already read, you have a lot of lists of names, and the names can feel very tedious. Our tendency is to just quickly skip through, skim at best those sections. But I want to remind you that when you do that, you miss these hidden jewels that are present in the midst. For example, certain people are described as in their diligence of working for God and for David, or other explanations that just help us understand a little bit about their time. Most of these names are lost to history, and we know very little about them. But the chronicler has kept them for us, and it's good to see what he has preserved. By the way, the fact that all these names are there shows evidence that these things indeed happened, because it's giving us such detail about it. But what I really wanted to focus on is the end of this passage, which is chapter 28, because I have on the screen here, this is a depiction of King David and his son Solomon, and David giving Solomon his advice. Now this is what's very powerful. I'm actually going to read it. It's 1 Chronicles 28 verse 9. And Solomon my son, learn to know the God of your ancestors intimately. Worship and serve him with your whole heart and a willing mind. For the Lord sees every heart and knows every plan and thought. If you seek him, you will find him. But if you forsake him, he will reject you forever. So take this seriously. The Lord has chosen you to build a temple as his sanctuary. Be strong and do the work. And then later on, verse 20, David continues, be strong and courageous. Do the work. Don't be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God, my God, is with you. Now, this scripture is powerful, and it's worth the price of admission to reading this passage. Know the Lord your God intimately. Well, the fact that you're doing cover to cover is a part of knowing God intimately. Having ongoing prayer with him is in part knowing God intimately. Discovering who other Christians are and how they're living their life and what they're learning about God and listening to them is about knowing God intimately. And then these words of being strong and courageous. The other part of this, though, to me is very sobering, is to maybe do the same thing for your children and grandchildren. Let them know what is on your heart. As a pastor, I do an awful lot of funerals, and there are very few conversations that take place near the end of life in which a parent does what David did with Solomon. You and I have this opportunity. I'm writing right now, I would call it a small book for my children. I don't know if they're going to read it, but I'm writing it for them. It will include pictures, but it would also include not just details about my life and Michelle's life, but about my relationship with God and my journey, ups and downs. You and I can do the same thing. This passage can be a model for you and I as we pass on to our children truths that they should know. Hey, God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.